Welcome to The Explainer. We are diving straight into a high-stakes, tactical debrief today. I want you to think of this session as a strategic masterclass, one where ancient warrior wisdom meets modern exam strategy. Like a samurai stepping onto the battlefield, you cannot just wildly swing your sword and hope to win. You need to learn how to slice through every single question with absolute precision. Today, we are focusing on the ultimate playbook for mastering Cambridge computer science and information technology. Our main target is the 9626 syllabus, paper 2. But listen closely, because the exact same discipline and precision we cover today applies across the entire board to syllabus codes 0417, 0478, 2210, and 9618. Whether you are aiming for that top-tier A-star or just trying to secure a solid pass, the strategies we are about to unpack are your ultimate weapons. So clear your workspace, get your head in the game, gear up, and let's get started.
Let me dramatically reveal the stakes of the challenge we are facing today. Section 8.1 accounts for a massive 15% of the total marks in Paper 2. Just pause and think about that for a second. 15%. That is literally the difference between an average, middle-of-the-pack grade and a top-tier, outstanding distinction. When you sit down in that exam hall and open that paper, a huge portion of your success rests on how you handle this one specific section. Let's make this real by looking at two typical students taking a recent 417 pass paper. Let's call them Alex and Sam. Alex is what I call the overloader. Alex memorizes raw computer science facts, dumps a whole textbook's worth of knowledge onto the page, but includes absolutely zero analysis. Then you have Sam. Sam is the rusher. Sam panics under the ticking clock, skips right over the specific command word requirements, and misses the point entirely. If you looked at their exam papers, it's just a sea of red pen marks from the examiner. Why? Because they lacked a clear, disciplined strategy.
So, what exactly is this battlefield? Our exact focus is Section 8.1, creating and editing structures. We are talking about the fundamentals here: inserting, deleting, hiding, and resizing rows and columns, merging cells. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I know how to resize a column. That's easy. But listen to me very carefully. Mastering these tools for a Cambridge exam isn't just about software mechanics. It is absolutely not about just clicking the right buttons on a spreadsheet. It is about demonstrating highly structured reasoning. The examiners aren't just testing if you know where the merge cell icon is located. They are testing your cognitive ability to take a massive, messy set of complex data and organize it into a digestible, professional format that solves a specific business problem. Alex fails here because he just lists the steps to click the button. Sam fails here because she merges the wrong cells in a panic. You are going to succeed because you will understand the why behind every single edit.
And that brings us directly to Act 2, the strategy reveal. Here is our core academic benchmark, the rule you must engrave in your mind. Analytical depth is always, always greater than superficial breadth. Examiners don't want a shallow list of spreadsheet facts. They are looking for deep, evidence-based reasoning. They want to see how you decode computer science-specific assessment objectives. To achieve this level of depth, top-scoring students use a specific blueprint. It's called the PEEL framework. P-E-E-L. Point, evidence, explanation, link. First, you state your point clearly. Then, you back it up with evidence directly from the data provided. Next, you explain exactly why this structural change matters. Finally, you link it right back to the specific business scenario in the prompt. This is the katana, the ultimate weapon that slices through the exam. It guarantees you are hitting those command words perfectly. Before we continue, subscribe to our YouTube channel Ace the Exams at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon right now.
Let's build on that analytical depth. If you want those highest marks, the theoretical architecture of Section 8.1 rests on three massive pillars: precise definitions, causal relationships, and integration with other syllabus areas. I am sharing a direct insider insight from the principal examiner reports here. Candidates who connect this specific section to other areas of the computer science syllabus achieve significantly higher marks. It is all about seeing the entire battlefield, not just the one enemy in front of you. Think about it. When you hide a row or merge a cell, how does that impact your data validation rules? How does it affect the underlying database structure or the final output of a mail merge? You have to establish causal relationships. You must show the examiner if I change variable X here, it directly impacts output Y over there. When you demonstrate that you understand how a simple structural edit integrates with broader programming or presentation principles, you instantly signal to the examiner that you are an elite, top-tier candidate. Let's do a quick mental check. Can you spot a PEEL answer? Does your answer just say I hid the row? Or does it say, I hid the row because it contained redundant data, which optimizes the database query speed? The second one is your winner. All right, stay alert because we are officially entering the danger zone. These are the top 3 examiner warnings extracted directly from past reports. This is where good students lose unnecessary marks. Warning number 1, forgetting proper format and losing incredibly easy marks. This is heartbreaking. You do all the hard analytical work, you extract the right data, but you forget to format a currency to 2 decimal places. Red mark. Warning number 2, failing to check the overall format and presentation. You execute the correct edit, but you leave the text overlapping or cut off because you didn't bother to resize the column width to match the new data string. Red mark. Warning number 3, and this is the biggest one, providing answers that are not specific to the context. You explain beautifully how to insert a row in theory, but you completely fail to explain why you are doing it for the specific company mentioned in the exam paper. Red mark. These are the silent killers of your final grade.
Let's move into Act 3, the transformation. We are going to rewrite these flawed answers live to fix that exact third warning. We are contrasting the classic mistake, the generic answer, with the elite tier, the context-specific answer. Imagine your paper asks why certain columns were hidden in a hospital payroll spreadsheet. Alex, giving the generic approach, writes, columns are hidden to make the spreadsheet smaller and easier to read. 0 marks for application. It's too vague. Now let's guide Sam to rewrite this using our success blueprint and the PEL framework. The new transformed answer reads, columns D and E, which contain a nurse's personal home addresses, are hidden. This complies with data privacy principles, ensuring the payroll manager only views the necessary financial data, reducing visual clutter while actively protecting sensitive employee information. Look at that transformation. We went from a red mark to a green check mark. The context-specific answer names the columns, identifies the exact data type, and explains the professional, real-world reasoning. That is how you secure maximum points.
I really want to hammer this point home because it is absolutely crucial. This is your absolute golden rule. Coming straight from a principal examiner alert, the classic mistake is providing generic answers not specific to the question context. Always link every point to the given scenario. Read that again. This is the ultimate trap that 90% of students fall into. If you write an answer that could apply to any generic business or any random spreadsheet in the entire world, you have completely failed the question. Every single structural edit you make, every row you choose to insert, every column you decide to delete, every single cell you merge must be explicitly justified by the specific, unique scenario you are given in that exam booklet. Now let's introduce a concept I call the method mark strategy. In practical sections like 8.1, you have to remember this mantra: process over product. In Cambridge computer science exams, marks are heavily awarded for demonstrating the correct procedural steps, not just for achieving a final visual outcome. Imagine you use a massive, convoluted, messy workaround to somehow get the right number to show up on the screen, but you completely ignore the most logical, efficient method of structuring the spreadsheet. You will lose marks. Examiners want to see the elegance of your method. They are literally tracking your digital footprints through the software. Your step-by-step process proves your cognitive understanding of the system, whereas a messy final product might just be a lucky guess. Stop scrolling. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams at aceexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. We've helped thousands of students improve by 2-3 grade boundaries. Join them right now by subscribing to at aceexams_IGCSE and turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly exam strategy sessions. Welcome to ACT4, the interactive workshop. Challenge 1 is the data scan. Let's look at the strict presentation conventions required for professional execution. Proper headings, clear annotation, correct terminology, appropriate formats. Imagine a complex computer science data table popping up on your screen right now. You have a 60-second mental timer. What is the court trend? Before you even touch a cell, you need to know what you're looking at. If you submit a beautifully calculated spreadsheet, but you haven't merged and centered your proper headings, or you haven't resized the columns to clearly show the annotations, you are failing the professional execution standard. The examiners explicitly state in the syllabus that practical application is meant to develop professional skills. You aren't just a student taking a test. You are being trained to step into a high-level corporate environment and present complex data flawlessly to a board of directors. Let's move to challenge 2 of our workshop, Find the Flaw. I am going to show you the deconstruct, solve, evaluate loop that top-scoring candidates use. It has 5 steps. 1. Identify the given information. 2. Break it into logical steps. 3. Solve systematically. 4. Check for reasonableness. And 5. Make justified recommendations. Now, imagine a flawed sample paragraph on your screen.
Where is the sentence losing marks? I'll tell you. The flaw almost always happens because students skip step 4. They never check for reasonableness. They execute a resize command on a column, but they don't check the output, so a crucial decimal point gets hidden, completely changing a vital data value. Suddenly, $1,000 looks like $10. You must run every single structural manipulation through these 5 exact steps to ensure your execution is absolutely watertight.
All right, challenge 3 is speed writing. Imagine you have a 30-second timer counting down on your screen. You need to write one perfect Peel paragraph explaining a structural edit. You need a definitive procedural framework ready to deploy instantly. The very moment you tackle a Section 8.1 question, follow the sequence. 1. Deconstruct the question to find out exactly what the command word is asking. 2. Extract the relevant data from the scenario text. 3. Select your analytical framework, which is Peel. 4. Execute the structural change with clear notation. 5. Present your reasoning using the correct terminology. Do not ever write something like, I made the box bigger. That is an Alex answer. A samurai writes, I resized the column width to accommodate the expanded string length of the customer addresses. Professional terminology is your armor on this battlefield. Wear it proudly.
The crucial point we are arriving at here is that all these structural edits, the resizing, the merging, the deleting, they're completely meaningless if you haven't correctly extracted and interpreted the underlying data relationships first. Essential data interpretation skills form your absolute foundation. You must extract data accurately from the exam insert, and then you have to interpret the complex relationships within that data. Ask yourself, why does the regional sales data need to be separated from the global data? Only once you truly understand that underlying business relationship can you make the logical structural decision to insert a new column. Remember this, structure always follows data logic. Form follows function.
Let's elevate your analytical game even further. A lot of questions will ask you to compare different ways of structuring data. Now, true comparative analysis requires identifying both similarities and differences. You cannot just write a list of what is different between 2 spreadsheets. That's superficial. You must actively use comparative connectives like whereas, similarly, conversely, or in contrast. And here's the kicker. Every single comparison must be supported by hard evidence from the data, leading to a definitive conclusion about their relative importance. When you evaluate the impact on data integrity and user presentation using these specific comparative connectives, you weave a highly sophisticated, top-tier argument that examiners absolutely love to see.
We are now entering Act 5, the final system. As we recap everything, we need to focus on evaluative thinking for those absolute top marks. To act like an elite computer science analyst, you need to routinely identify data limitations, actively question any assumed information, consider alternative interpretations of the spreadsheet layout, and firmly justify all your decisions with hard evidence. This ties into the time management matrix, which is one of our 3 golden rules, alongside command word decoding and Peel framework application. When managing your exam time, you must allocate specific dedicated minutes to this evaluative phase. Don't just mindlessly execute the task and rush to the next question like Sam does. Pause, evaluate. Did merging those cells obscure vital data? Does this new structure actually solve the scenario's underlying problem? This level of critical analysis is the true hallmark of a top-grade paper.
Before we move to our final thoughts, let me leave you with a quick, highly practical memory hack. We all know that under the intense pressure of an exam hall, it is incredibly easy to just blank out on the basics. So, create a personal mnemonic using the first letters of the core structure edits. Insert, delete, hide, resize, merge. IDHRM. Treat this like your mental cheat sheet. Maybe use something like, I do have real magic, or igloos don't have red monkeys. Make it weird, make it funny, make it memorable. The moment you sit down, write those letters at the top of your scratch paper. It becomes an instant mental checklist, so you never forget the tactical tools you have at your disposal.
We have reached the end of our strategic playbook. Look at the progress bar. We are at 100% mark potential now. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Will you merely memorize the steps, or will you truly master the context? Anyone can learn to click a button on a screen, but only a master, only a true exam samurai, can analyze the data, apply the proper Peel framework, perfectly decode the command words, and present a flawless, context-specific solution. Students who implement these computer science strategies see an average improvement of 2 grade boundaries, but only if they practice consistently with our weekly videos. Here's your final reminder. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at @acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Subscribe right now to @acetheexams_IGCSE and click that bell.
Don't let another exam pass you by. Drop a comment below with your target grade for computer science and the biggest challenge you're facing. Our team responds to every comment. Like and share this video with a study partner. Ace the exams. Your Cambridge success starts here.